Imagine producing a fiber that's extremely durable, long-lasting, fire-resistant, and goes all over the world alongside a protein that is lean, healthy, and loaded with essential vitamins. All this while controlling weeds, preventing wildfires, and maintaining healthy soil and vegetation growth. Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? This is the Morgan Mickle Channel. And this is Raising American Lamb in the West. We live a dying way of life. We make a living off the land and the livestock we run on it. It might look different depending on where you go, but this is what it takes us to produce American lamb and wool to put on your table and in your home. Every journey has to begin somewhere. This is where ours starts. Our ranges are spread out across the state of Utah and into Nevada. We go where the feed is and where we have permits to graze the land. Some are close to home and some aren't. It takes a lot of moving on trucks and on foot to get everything where they need to be from season to season. We have a guy that lives with these sheep all year long. Where the sheep go, he goes. Our guys are an essential part of what we do, and what we do wouldn't be possible without them and the tremendous work that they do. Each herder spends much of his time with the sheep, using dogs to herd, keep them together, stay safe from predators, and always be on the best feed possible. With winter over, it's time to gather everything off the desert and bring them home to prepare for shearing, lambing, and the beginning of another year. Our sheep spend the winter several hours away from the ranch, and it takes a lot to get everything gathered up in the corral, loaded on trucks, and headed back home. There is a lot of scheduling involved in the spring. Our goal is to be as efficient as possible. When sheep are at the ranch, they eat hay, and a lot of it. The more time they're at the ranch, the more hay they're going to eat. We try to bring the sheep home as close as we can to lambing and shearing time in order to save on the amount of hay we need to feed them. We stagger when the sheep will begin to have their lambs, so we're able to bring in one herd at a time, get them shorn, worked, sorted, and into the lambing sheds. The job of a shearer is a hard one, especially that of the plant manager in charge of all the scheduling. We schedule with our shearing crew many months in advance to make sure they can get to us and so we can plan when to bring the sheep home from the winter range. Sheep cannot be shorn if the wool is wet. It is packaged in heavy bags very tightly. If there is any moisture in the bag, it can ruin the entire thing. The early spring weather can be particularly difficult and uncooperative. If there is rain or snow, the shearing has to stop unless there is a way for them to stay dry. If not, they have to wait until the wool dries again before they are able to continue shearing. With so many producers in a line to be shorn, this can make things very complicated. If one guy is bumped one day, the next guy down the line is too, and so is the next guy and the next guy, and on and on. We are at the mercy of the weather and the shearers doing their best to make it to countless ranches during the shearing season. We are always happy to see them when they show up ready to shear. Sheep need to be shorn once every year or their wool grows extremely heavy and uncomfortable during the hot months of summer to come. This process does not hurt the sheep, and they are always glad to have their yearly haircut. Shearing is an art. If you ever have a chance to watch a sheep get shorn, it is truly an amazing thing to watch. Shearers dance with the sheep, moving and shifting it from side to side, placing weight from left to right, making sure the sheep is as comfortable as possible and remaining in control at all times to make sure the shearer and the sheep are safe as possible. As the wool is taken from the sheep, it is passed under the chute and to the workers on the outside of the shearing plant. They take the wool, sort it based on quality, and pack it into wool bales. Each one of these bales, when fully packed, will weigh over 450 pounds. It takes around 40 fleeces to fill each one of these bags. Wool goes into products like clothing, insulation, bedding, fertilizer, carpet, furniture, and so much more. It truly is an amazing product used all over the world in countless ways. When all the sheep are shorn for the year, all of our wool is loaded onto a truck and taken to the marketing company to sell. After all the sheep have been shorn, they work their way into our Tapari squeeze chute to be checked over. We check each one individually to make sure they're happy and healthy. We care about the health of our sheep very much. If they're happy and healthy, then so are we. We do our best to make sure everything is taken care of and in the best shape possible. As they go through the squeeze, we take the opportunity as well to judge if and when most likely they are going to have their lambs and are sorted accordingly. Those that are closest head into our lambing sheds to prepare to have their lambs. The sheep are brought into heated barns where someone is with them almost 24 hours a day. We mix hay for the sheep to eat so they stay strong and full. They can go inside or outside depending on the weather and where they want to be. As the ewes have their lambs, they're brought into small pens. Here, they're able to bond with their lambs, make sure they're getting cleaned off, and have enough to eat. We give the lambs a supplement to give them a jump start. Iodine their umbilical cord to make sure they're clean and sterilized when they're in such a confined space. While the ewes are inside, they have a feeder full of hay pellets to eat and access to water all the time. Within a short amount of time, we turn the ewes and their new lambs into a small pen with others so they can get out, exercise, and start to run and grow, and the lambs can learn to follow their mothers. We slowly increase the amount of ewes and lambs in different pens, moving and combining, until we have enough for a full herd. Then, it's time for them to be moved into the spring ranges. These sheep will once again be with a full-time herder to tend, move, care, and protect them and their new lambs. We move sheep every single day in the spring, from pen to pen and range to range, on trucks big and small, and on foot, sometimes close and sometimes far. We go from being mostly in one place to being spread back out into various ranges and pastures, each of which comes with their own set of advantages, challenges, and trials. With the temperature rising and the snow gone, water needs to be brought into the sheep on some of the ranges. We bring water troughs and haul water out of different wells and springs every day to the herds that need it. As the green grass comes, the lambs continue to grow. They learn to follow their mothers, and another year begins. Springtime is the busiest time of year for us. There are lots of long days, short nights, hours in trucks, and lots to get moved, fed, and done. It takes countless hours to get these new lambs here and countless more to keep them alive, happy, healthy, and growing. Even in this, the busiest time of year, running on very little sleep, lots of hamburgers, and fast food on the go, we love what we do. We are proud to be part of such an amazing industry and to provide such an amazing product like wool and American lamb to the world. It takes a lot of teamwork, but somehow we make it all work so we can keep living our dream. Once again, welcome to the Morgan Mickle channel. Thanks for joining us on our journey of raising American lamb and wool. Stay tuned for part 2 and the joys of summer.